Hello guys, welcome back to our channel CSE Concepts with Parinda. So guys, as you people must be knowing, what we are doing nowadays, we have started our session of aptitude. Yes, so all of you students who are either preparing for the campus interviews or if you are preparing for your campus placement, any type of exams like GATE, any PSU exam like ISRO, BARC or UGC NET exam is there, NIC exam is there. So if you are preparing for any of these types of competitive exam or your placement, this aptitude series is going to be helpful to all of you, right? And how we are processing? In every day's session, what we are trying to do is we are taking up one new topic, and in that topic we are trying to cover everything in a video. What do I mean by everything? We are seeing the formulas, we are seeing the logics, we are solving as many different types of examples as possible. Some of the examples we are trying to solve using logic, some we are trying to solve using formula. In short, we are trying to see what can be the different types of observations that we can see on the question, how we can solve them in minimum time possible and in the easiest way, how we can get the answer, right? In our first video, in our first session, we have covered time and work. We have covered almost everything that can be asked inside time and work. In the second session, we have covered number system. In the number system, I would highly recommend you to watch those two videos because we have covered many new things that generally students are facing problem with, right? That will definitely help you out. And we are making the session in such a way that if you are completing the session of any topic, then at the end of the topic, I am ensuring you that you will find yourself capable to answer any question, to answer any of the question that can be asked from the topic. So we are trying to cover all the things that is possible in that topic. So I'm again and again recommending you that watch this series from the very first video. If you have missed any, then please go and watch them again and continue in our series, because this is going to help you in your aptitude session no matter what you are preparing for. And again, before starting today's video, I would like to again remind you that please sit with a pen and paper in your hand, maintain notes, take one notepad or one notebook and maintain proper notes. Whatever formulas we are seeing, whatever logics we are seeing, whatever we are discussing about the observations, shortcuts, all the questions that we are discussing, it would be very helpful to you if you maintain proper notes, because these are really going to be helpful at the last time revision, right? Okay, now in today's video, we are going to see permutations and combinations. If you are preparing for any competitive exam, you must know that permutation and combination is one of the most important topics, and it is one such topic whose weightage is also more, right? In GATE also, in any reputed competitive exam, if you observe, permutation and combination, we are having multiple questions from this topic and the weightage is also more. So if you are preparing this topic properly, it is surely going to be helpful in any of the exams. Now what we will do in today's video, in this topic, basically you should know where to use permutation, where to use combinations, and we will try to solve as many questions as possible. To give you a rough idea, let me tell you, we are going to solve more than 10 to 15 questions, right? We are going to solve 10 to 15 different types of questions that can be asked from this topic, and I will show you two things. The first thing is I will show you how to answer these questions with the help of direct formula of permutation and combination, and I will also show you that if you don't remember the formula or you don't know the direct logic, then how you can, with the help of the observation, with the help of general like common sense, how you can answer these questions correctly. So this is going to be very helpful and very interesting session. So stay till the end. If any of your friends, classmates, juniors or seniors are also preparing for it, please invite them also, because this is really going to be helpful to all. Okay, now initially for the first few questions, we will not see the formula. We will not use the formula, and so I am not telling you the formula also. In the beginning, I will show you that even if you don't remember formula, how you can answer the questions of permutations and combinations. Okay. So before starting the question, see, this is one concept that you should know. whenever in any question we are having the concept of and. And means what? When we are using and, that this and this is important. And means what? Compulsory. If we are writing, if anyone says that I am drinking tea and eating biscuits, that means what? I am taking both tea as well as biscuit, right? And what is or? Or means if someone says I will take tea or coffee, that means I will either take tea or take coffee. So whenever we are having some cases when and is used, and means all of them are equally important, in that case you should relate it like that. Whenever in any case and is used, we will do multiplication, and in any case where or is used, we will do addition. Okay, just remember this thing, that now as and when we will use this in our question, you will get a better idea. Just remember this, whenever the concept says and, we will do multiplication. Whenever the concept in the question says or, we will do addition. Okay. Okay. Now, this is the first question. See, total, how many 3-digit numbers are there? See, in permutation and combination, what happens, that as soon as you read the question, you will find it very simple question. Okay. But the way to solve that question is not that simple. This is a simple question, that total, how many 3-digit numbers are there? We know that 3-digit number starts from 100 and it goes up to 999. But similarly, they can ask you 5-digit, 10-digit, 15-digit. So there should be direct some way to determine the answer. So how to do that? Whenever they are asking total, how many 3-digit numbers are there? That means one thing is clear, that we will be having 3 digits, 1, 2 and 3. Got it? We will be having 3 digits. Now, we will see that these are the 3 places, because 3-digit number will be there. So now in these 3 places, we will see that how many digits are possible. Here the only thing asked here is total, how many 3-digit numbers are there. So what is the possibility? Which digits can possibly come here in the last digit? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 0 to 9, any number can come here. That means 0 to 9 means total how many digits are there? 10. That means total 10 possibilities are there for this place. Okay. Similarly, this middle place, in the middle place also 0 to 9, any digit can be there. So again, the possibility of this place is also 10. Now, if we talk about this place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All these things can be there. But can 0 be present here? Think it. Can 0 be present here? No. Why? Because if 0 comes here, then 0 at the beginning means it is having no value. So if 0 comes here, it will make it 2-digit number. Getting? If I put 0 here, it will become 2-digit number. But I want only 3-digit numbers. Getting? That's why it is very clear that in the first place, 0 will not come. So what are the possibilities here? Only 1 to 9. So 9 possibilities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 possibilities for here, 10 possibilities for here and 10 possibilities for this digit. Now, unit, this is my unit digit, this is tens digit and this is hundreds digit. All these 3 are important, right? See again, first of all we have determined that how many possible digits are there for all these 3 places. We have got 9, 10 and 10. Now we have to determine that we want to add these 3 or we want to multiply these 3. So that's where this concept comes into the picture. Now here we are having and or. I have given you example. And means what? All of them are equally important. And or means what? Either this or that. So which case is applicable here? Here this digit and this digit, all the 3 digits are equally important, because based on these 3 digits only, if all the 3 digits are present, then only we are getting 3-digit number, right? If for example this is not there, we will get 2 digit. If these 2 are not there, we will get only 1 digit. So all the 3 digits are equally important here, unit digit and tens digit and 100 digits. So AND concept comes here because all these three are equally important. So what we will do? We will do multiplication for our answer. So here our answer will be 9 into 10 into 10, that is equal to 10 into 10 is 100 into 9 is 900. So 900 is my answer. That 900 total 3-digit numbers are there. Getting? Similarly, if it is asked for 4-digit, 5-digit, 6-digit, you could have answered it in the same way. Okay? I hope it is clear to you. Let's see one more example so it will become more clear to you. What is the question here? How many 3-digit numbers are there in which all digits are different? See, here also they are asking about 3-digit numbers. That means again 3 digits will be there. But what is different in this case? In this case, they are also specifying that all the digits must be different. In this case, in the above question, nothing like that was mentioned, right? The numbers could have been same or could have been different. But here they have clearly specified that all the digits are different. So we have to think in that direction. So again 3-digit number is there. So these three are equally important. That means we have to do multiplication because again the same case AND. This and this and this. All the 3 digits are equally important and so we will do multiplication at the end. Now we have to determine the possibilities. How many digits are possible in this case? In the very first place, again in the first place 0 cannot be there because if it is 0, it will make this 3-digit number 2-digit number, right? So 0 cannot be here. So here the possibilities are 1 to 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 to 9, that means 9 possibilities are here. Now if we talk about here in the second place, 0 can be there. So 0 to 9. Generally 10 possibilities are there, but here what is the condition given in the question? That all the digits are different. That means the digit from 1 to 9, whatever digit is present in this place, it cannot be repeated here. Got it? So 0 to 9. So out of those 10 numbers, the number that is present here, it cannot again be repeated. So 10 total possibility is 0 to 9. Total 10 possibilities are there. From 10 we are minusing 1. We have to subtract 1. That means the number that has come here, it cannot be repeated. So here 10 minus 1, 9 possibilities are there. Now if we talk about this digit, here also 0 to 9, 10 possibilities are there. But from the 10 possibilities, we have to subtract 2. Why 2? Because the number that is present here, it cannot be repeated here. Again, the number that is present here, it cannot be repeated here. So, 10 minus this number 1 minus this number 1. So, that is equal to 10 minus 2, which is equal to 8. Got it? Why we are doing like this? Because it is told that all digits are different. That's why the answer here is 998 are the possibilities. We are multiplying these three, 998. So 9 into 9 is 81 into 8. That will give us 648. Okay. So 648. So see, total 3-digit numbers were 900. But 3-digit numbers in which all the digits are different, in that case we are having 648. Got it? So this is how we have to apply our logic and we will come to the conclusion and we will get the answer by just doing brainstorming little bit. Okay. Now let's see next question. How many 3-digit numbers are there in which at least 2 digits are equal? See, again here also we are talking about 3 digits. How many 3-digit numbers are there in which at least 2 digits are equal? So what it will be? It will be equal to total 3-digit numbers. Understand this thing. Total 3-digit numbers. See, how many 3-digit numbers are there in which at least 2 digits are equal? At least 2 digits are equal. That means what? At least 2 digits are equal means kam se kam, right? You understand at least. Kam se kam. That means either 2 digits can be equal or 3 digits can be equal. But all are different is not the case. So total 3-digit numbers, from this we have to minus, we have to subtract the case where all digits are different. Getting it? See, understanding the question is the main thing. We have to find out 3-digit numbers in which at least 2 digits are equal. That means either 2 digits are equal or 3 digits are equal. We want those cases. That means what? We don't want the case where all the digits are different. So what we have done, it will be equal to total 3-digit numbers, all the possibilities of 3-digit numbers minus all digits are different, those cases. So see, we have already found it out in our question number 1 and 2. In our question number 2, we have found out total 3-digit numbers. It was what? 900. And in our second question, we have found out all digits are different. So all digits are different where? 252, right? All digits were different. We have got we have got 648 and the subtraction answer will be 252. See, in the second question where all digits are different, we have got the answer 648. So, this 900 minus 648, we are getting 252. Fine. That means 252 are those numbers of 3-digit numbers are possible in which at least 2 digits are equal. So, determining this equation, coming to this equation was the most important part here. Okay, fine. Now, let's see the next question. Now, see, this is a very important and very interesting question of permutation and combination. How many numbers, 2 questions are there, okay? How many numbers more than 5000 and less than 5000 can be formed using the digits 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 9. Fine. So we have to find out the number of, we have to find out that how many total numbers are possible that are more than 5000 and less than 5000 using these digits. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 9. How many digits are there? 5 and 6. 6 digits are there. So using these 6 digits, we have to form the numbers that are more than 5000 and the numbers that are less than 5000. So we have to tell that how many numbers are more than 5000 and how many numbers are less than 5000. So see, this is very interesting. If we consider the first question first, that how many numbers more than 5000 can be formed using these digits. Now, more than 5000, now it is not told here that how many digits number, right? It can be 2, it can be 4 digit, 5 digit, 6 digit, 7 digit, 10 digit, 20 digit, 100 digits, right? They have not mentioned anything. And as they have not mentioned anything, it can be either 10 digit number, 15 digit number, 20 digit number, anything, right? Anything more than 5000 is possible with the help of these numbers. Because repetition is allowed, we can use these number multiple times. We can form 10 digit, 50 digit, 100 digit numbers. So there is no limitation given at all. So we can say that infinite as an answer to the question number A. We can say that as nothing is mentioned here, we can say infinite numbers. Infinite numbers are possible that are more than 5000. Got it? Because there is no limitation as if we can repeat the numbers or not. There is no limitation that we can, how many digit numbers are there, nothing is specified. So we can simply say that infinite numbers are possible that can be more than 5000. Okay. Okay. Now the interesting question is how many numbers less than 5000 are possible. Now understand this thing. If the number is less than 5000, then it must be maximum of 4 digit. That means it can be either 1 digit number, 2 digit number, 3 digit number or 4 digit number. Fine. If there is, because if the number is 5 digit, obviously it will become more than 5000. But in B, in this B, what we want less than 5000 number. So what are the possibilities? The possibilities are, it can be either 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit or 4 digit. Got it? 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit or 4 digit. Only these 4 are possible when we are talking about the numbers that are less than 5000. So what are the possibilities for 1 digit? If we talk about this 1 digit, so in this 1 digit it can be, and see what is given us, that that can be formed using the digits this. That means only these 6 digits, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 9, only these 6 digits I can use. So if we are talking about one digit, in this one digit, out of these 6 digits, anything can be there. So the possibility is 6 digits. If we talk about 2 digits, the possibilities are 2. So the possibilities are, here also anything can be there out of these 6, here also anything can be there. And for making it 2 digit, both of the digits are equally important. So 6 into 6, in between multiplication will be there. If we talk about 3D, again 3 digit, again we are having 6 into 6 into 6. Now if we are talking about 4 digit, so see, these 3 can be anything. In the last 3 digit, again any of these 6 digits are possible. But if we talk about this first digit, understand this thing, that we want the numbers that are less than 5000. So here compulsorily in this place, either 1 should be there or 2 or 4. Because if we write 6 here, it will become 6000 something, that is more than 5000, 8000 something, 9000 something. So using these 3 will make this number more than 5000. But we want the number less than 5000. That means in this place only the numbers that are less than 5 should be there. So how many numbers are less than 5? 1, 2 and 4. So for here we are having 3 possibilities. Why 3 possibilities? Because 1 can be there, 2 can be there or 4 can be there. Okay. So these are the possibilities. So the total number of possibilities in one digit it is 6. In 2 digit it is 6 into 6 36. In 3 digit it is 216. In 4 digit it is 6 into 6 into 6 into 3, that is 648. Okay. Now we have to find out total how many numbers. So these are the 4 possibilities. Now again there is and or there is or and, there is or in between, because we have to find out how many total number of numbers less than 5000 are possible. So it can either be one dimension or two dimensional, or it can either be one digit or 2 digit or 3 digit or 4 digit. So we are having or in between. That means we have to add these numbers for our answer. So our answer is 6 plus 36 plus 216 and plus 648. So if you add all of these, you will get 906. So for the first A, how many more than 5000 numbers are possible? It is infinite. And for B, less than 5000, how many numbers are possible? 906 numbers are possible. And here is the logic. I hope you got it, right? So if you got it, or if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section in both the cases, so I will get it. And if you have any specific doubt, ask me in the comment section. I will definitely help you to clear your doubt. See, it is very simple. You just need to apply your logic, a little bit of observation and common sense. Like here, that obviously if you want 4-digit number that is less than 5000, then 6, 8 or 9 cannot be present here, because otherwise it will become more than 5000, right? So these kinds of little bit observations are necessary in these type of question. So see, let me take one question that is very similar to this, but yes, you have to apply different kind of logic for that question. See, how many numbers, again more than 4000 and less than 4000 can be formed using the digits, again 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9. Again these 6 digits are given. But what is the condition given here? If repetition is not allowed. So here is the key. In that question, what happened? In that question, there was no limitations, no drawbacks given to us. But in this case, clearly the limitation given to us is repetition is not allowed. Okay. So this question is obviously, that's why we have to solve it quite differently from the previous questions. So how to solve it? In the very first question, what is asked? How many numbers more than 4000 was present? In case of previous question, what we have written? Infinite, because more than 5000. In that question, they were asking more than 5000 and we have written infinite. You can go and You can pause the video and check that question. We have written infinite. Why? Because no conditions were given. But in this case, we cannot write infinite here. Because here the condition given is if repetition is not allowed. So if repetition is not allowed is the condition. So here we have to calculate how many more than 4,000 numbers, how many numbers are possible. So see, if we want more than 4,000, so it can either be 4-digit number, or 5-digit number, or 6-digit number. And can it be more than 6-digit, 7-digit, 8-digit? No, because we have to use only these given digits. And how many digits are given? 6. So using only these 6 digits where repetition is not allowed, I cannot make more than 6-digit number. Okay, so more than 4,000 is possible only if I am having 4-digit or 5-digit or 6-digit number. Fine. Okay. Now, if first of all we talk about 4-digit, so 4 digits will be there. What is possible here? Again, like we have seen in the previous example, for this number to be more than 4,000, here the number should be, because here we are having 4 first digit, so here this digit should be more than 4, right? 4 or more than 4. So this digit can be 4, 6, 7 or 9. These two cannot be there. So we are having 4 possibilities for this digit. That means either 4 can be there, 6 can be there, 7 can be there or 9 can be there. So 4 possibilities. Now for this digit, here any of these numbers are possible, but it is said that repetition is not allowed. That means whatever digit was here, this digit cannot be repeated. Okay. Whatever digit came here, this digit cannot be repeated here. So out of these 6 numbers, one number had already come here. So here 5 possibilities are remaining. Now if we talk about this place, one digit is already here, one digit is already here. So out of 6, 2 are used. So again 4 digits are remaining possibilities here. If we talk about here, last digit, then out of 6 possibilities, 3 possibilities are already taken. So here the possibility is 6 minus 3, that is equal to 3. Got it? So these are the possibilities of 4 directional. So 4 into 5 into 4 into 3, that will give me 240. Okay. Now 5 digit. If I talk about 5 digit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5 digit. Now what is the possibility here? This is 5 digits. So if I am taking anything here, it will be greater than 4,000 because 4,000 is 4-digit number and this is 5 digit. So taking anything here will keep it more than 4,000 only. So out of these 6 digits, anything can be possible here. Now for this place, whatever came here, it cannot come. So out of 6 possibilities, 1 is taken. Here we will have 5. Out of 6 possibilities, 2 is taken. So here 4. 3 is taken. So here 3. 4 is taken. Out of 6 possibilities, 4 numbers are already taken. So remaining possibilities are 2. Okay. So this into this into this into 3 into 2 will give us 720. So the first one was 240. 5-digit numbers that are possible is 720. Now 6-digit number. Similarly, the first digit can be anything because 6-digit number is always greater than 4-digit number. So first one will be 6, 5, similar to this 4, 3, 2 and one more digit will be there in 6 digit. So that will be equal to 1. So into the whole thing is same, only into 1 is extra and multiplication of 1 with anything is the same thing. So here also we will have 720. So how many numbers more than 4,000 are possible? These 3 possibilities, these 3. Now again, it can either be 40 or 5 digit or 6 digit. So or is there, so we have to do addition. So 240 plus 720 plus 720. It will give me 1680. That means 1680 numbers are possible with the help of these digits that can be more than 4,000. Got it? Now similarly, we have to work for the numbers that are less than 4,000. That are less than 4,000. Now for less than 4,000, it can be, my number can be either 1 digit or 2 digit or 3 digit or 4 digit. Now for 1 digit we have 6 possibilities. Okay, these 6 digits are there. So 6 possibilities. For 2 digit we are having a 2 digit. The very first digit can be anything out of these 6. Then repetition is not allowed here. So whatever number is there, it cannot be repeated here. So for this place we are having 5 possibilities. Similarly 3D and 4D. For 3 digit we are having 6 into 5 into these 2 places are occupied, 2 digits are occupied, so 4 remaining choices. Now 4D, see 4 digits. What happens in 4 digits? Again we are more concerned about the first digit. See 4 digit number, to make it less than 4000, okay, to make it less than 4000, in the first place we can use 2, yes, we can use 3, yes, but we cannot use any of them. In the first place we can use only the digits that are less than 4000. That means 2 and 3, only 2 possibilities are there. Now for this, out of 6 digits 1 is taken, so here 5. Out of 6 digits 2 is taken, so here 4 possibilities. And out of 6 digits, these 3 places are taken, 3 digits are taken, so remaining 3 possibilities. Okay, so 6, here we are having 6 possibility. 6 into 5 is 30. Here we are having 120, and here again we are having 120. So here again 1 digit or 2 digit or 3 digit or 4 digit. So here after adding these 4 we will get our answer, that how many total digits are possible. So this will give me 276. Fine. So 720 numbers more than 4000 are possible, and 276 numbers less than 4000 are possible with the help of these digits, and where repetition is not allowed. So I hope this whole sum is clear to you. See, this question and the previous question, these two questions were very logical. If you got these two questions clearly, many of your concepts must have been clear, and you will be able to apply your logic in these types of questions. It is very important. Fine. So I hope both of these questions are very clear to you. In case you have any doubt, you can always ask in the comment section. Okay. So, okay, I am hoping that you are noting it down along with me. You are understanding. First, see, the better thing will be first understand this question. Whenever we are taking the solution, whenever we are solving this question, understand it properly. After you feel that, okay, you understood each and every concept, then try to pause the video, copy this question in your note and try to solve it again, pause the video and then solve it again in your notebook by yourself. In case you are stuck somewhere, again check it out and then go to the next question. In this way your concept will be very clear along with me, right? Okay, so now let's see the next question. Now see this question. I forget the password of my bag. I just remember that the password contains either 5 digits or alphabets, okay? Either 5 digits or alphabets. First 3 contains digits and last 2 contains alphabets. After the maximum efforts of how many trials, I will get to know the correct password. So this type of questions are very common in the section of permutations and combinations. So see what the question is saying here. I forget the password of my bag, okay? I have set some password in my bag, but currently I have forgot that. I just remember, but I forgot the password, but I do remember certain things. And what are the certain things? The first thing that I remember is the password contains either 5 digits or alphabets. That means there are 5 digits or alphabets. So 5. This is first thing, that there are there are 5 possibilities. There are 5 digits. Okay, 5 digits means there are 5 letters. Now these 5 letters can either be digits or alphabets. But I also remember that first 3 contains digit. That means these 3, in the first 3 places we are having digits. And last 2 contains alphabets. These 2 contains alphabets. So yes, so this is, I think, enough. Like we are having enough information. After the maximum, what is the actual question here? That after the maximum efforts of how many trials, I will get to know the correct password. So see, there are 5 digits. Obviously for the 5 digits, all these 5 are equally important. So in between these 5, we are having this and this and this and this and this. All the 5 are equally important. So we have to multiply them for the total number of possibilities. Now, how many digits or how many alphabets are possible? So what they have told here, that first 3 will be digits. When they are saying digits, in the digits always the possibility are 0 to 9, right? So here in the first 3 we are having digits, and there is nothing told that repetition is allowed or not. Nothing is told like that. So we will consider that there is no limitation. First 3 are digits, that means 0 to 9, 0 to 9, 0 to 9 are possible. 0 to 9 is 10, that means here also we are having 10 possibility, 10 possibility, 10 possibility. The last 2 are alphabets. We know that the alphabets are A to Z. So A to Z is how many? We are having 26 alphabets. So here also there is nothing mentioned about repetition. So we will consider that here also we are having 26 possibilities, and here also we are having 26 possibilities. Simple. So 10 into 10 into 10 is 1000 into 26 into 26 is 676. So we are having 676 0 0 0. Okay. So what is this? These are the total number of possibilities. The total number of possibilities by trying and erroring the password. But what is told here, see, in the option you will get this answer also, and many students are writing this as the correct answer. But no, we do have one more step to do. See, understand the question. What the question is, after the maximum efforts of how many trials, okay, after the maximum efforts of how many trials, I will get to know the correct password. That means these are the total possibilities. They are asking that after, if we are taking the maximum effort, right, that means if 10 times is possible something, for the 9 times I am doing it wrong, and obviously at the last time I will get the answer. Got it? For example, consider it like this. It will be easier for you to understand. Let's say we are having, for MCQ, you are having options A, B, C, D. Let's say one time you are saying that A is the correct answer. But the computer, for example, in computer you are giving MCQ test. You are having 4 options A, B, C, D. First of all, you are ticking on A. It will show that it is correct. It is incorrect. Okay. So seeing that it is incorrect, now you will choose B. It will show that it is also incorrect. So now you will choose C. It will show that it is also incorrect. Now the only option left is D. That means at the 4th time, definitely you will come up with the right answer. Okay, so total possibilities were 4, but the number of times you are doing it wrong is 3. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So the same thing happens here, that this is the total number of possibility. But after trying each and every possibility, the maximum case is that you will try all the wrong possibilities, but at the end, at least at the last time, you will do it correctly. Fine. So the maximum wrong efforts is this minus 1. You have to do minus 1 because at the end, minus 1 means because at the last time you will definitely come up with the right password. So the correct answer, that means the total number of maximum efforts of how many trials. So the wrong trials that you have to do is this minus 1. So it will give you 6, 7, 5,999. So this is actually your answer, that after trying these many times, 6, okay, 6, 7, 5, 999, that after trying these many times, at the end you will come up with the right password. So this is the maximum number of trials that you have to do. So this was a very interesting question, because many students, there are students who are doing all this correctly, but here they are not doing minus 1, here they are not understanding this logic, and so they are giving wrong answer. Got it? So your correct answer is this, 675,999. Now let's see the next question. Let's say there are 10 members in a party. Each members shake hands. Okay, now you are able to see the whole question. There are 10 members in the party. Each members shake hands with every other member. Find out the total number of handshakes. See, it is comparatively easier question, but this question is very important. This has been repeatedly asked. I have seen this question or this type of question repeatedly in many exams. So see, what they are telling, there are 10 members in a party. Each member is shaking hand with every other member. Find the total number of handshakes. So here there are only two logics that you should take care of. First of all, there are 10 members. Okay. 10 members are shaking hand with every other member in the party. So let's say out of 10 members, the first member, each member is shaking hand with every other member. So one person is there. Understand it like this. We are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the 10 members. Now, when one is starting to handshake, one will not handshake itself, right? Obviously, because every member is shaking hand with every other member, obviously. So, one is shaking hand with 2, one is shaking hand with 3, one is shaking hand with 4. So, one will shake hand with all these members, but obviously one will not shake hand with itself. So 10 members are there and all the 10 members will shake hand with 9 other members. So all the 10 members will shake hand with 9 other members, right? This one will shake hand with 2 to 10. This 2 will shake hand with 1 and 3 to 10. 3 will shake hand with 1, 2 and 4 to 10, like this. So every member will shake hand with all the other members. So all these 10 members will shake hand with 9 others members. Means apart from him or her, the other 9 members are there and they will shake hand with all those 9 members. So 10 into 9. 10 into 9, the total shake hands is 90. But again, many students think that 90 is our answer. No. Because see, this we considered that no one will shake hand with themselves. So every 10 members, so these 10 members will shake hand with 9 other members. So 90. But you have to consider one more case here. See, 5 is shaking hand with 6. That means what? When I am saying that 5 is shaking hands with 6, that means what it is actually, that 5 and 6 are shaking hands with each other. So if I am again considering that 6 is shaking hand with 5, I don't have to consider it twice. Getting? Because 5 is shaking hand with 6 and 6 is shaking hand with 5 is the same thing. But when I am considering that 10 members are shaking hands with 9 other members, I am considering these things twice, because again 5 is shaking hand with 7 and 7 is shaking hand with 5 is the same thing. So that means what? Every handshake I am considering it twice. That means whatever number I got, I have to divide it by 2. So 90 divided by 2, that is equal to 45 is our actual answer. So when 10 members are shaking hand with every other member in the party, 45 unique number of shake hands will be there, right? So find the total number of handshakes. So the total number of handshakes in this case will be 45. So this is important that you have to consider dividing by 2, because you have considered all the handshakes twice. So we will divide it by 2 and we will get 45 as the correct number of handshakes. Now let's see another question. So guys, we have seen plenty of examples where without using any formula, just using our logic, we have solved the questions. I have shown you that way because that way is really going to be helpful in your exam, because in most of the examples without going into the complications of any formula, directly we are able to find out the answer in a very quick way, if you understood all the examples that we have discussed till now, right? But there are again certain questions for which if you know the formula, you will be able to answer them very quickly. So for that, let's see formulas of permutation and combination, and let's see some question based on this. The permutation, the formula for permutation is, it is called NPR. Permutation is denoted by NPR, and NPR is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial. What is n, what is r, how we will take that? As soon as we will take the example, the things will become clear to you. Fine. So for now, just see the formula. But let me again tell you that in most of the cases, if you are good with your logic, if all the examples, I think we have already seen 6 to 8 examples. If you understood all those examples very nicely, then I think if you are good with your logic, then without using these formulas, you will be able to easily answer the questions of permutation and combination. Fine? Okay. But still, obviously, it's good to know the formulas. It's good to know all kinds of possibilities. So, for permutation, the formula we are having is NPR is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial. And for combination, we are having n factorial upon n minus r factorial into r factorial in the denominator. Fine. So these are the two formulas of permutation and combination. Now it is important to know that where the permutation is used and where the combination is used. So we will be using permutations generally in the cases where order is important. That means whenever order is important, when we want to do something in a particular order, in that case we will use permutation. Or you can also remember the things like in the question, see, this is just for our understanding, that in the question, if we are using the words like arrange, row, column, if we are using words like these, we can say that in those cases we will use permutation. Now if we see about combination, then mostly combination will be used in the cases where order is not important. That is, any combination will work. So if there are certain cases where we don't want to do the things in particular order, in particular schedule, any combination, you can do the things in any combination. In that case, we will use combination where order is not important. Or you can remember it like this: if in the question words like select, combine, etc. are used, we will use combination. So these are certain points that you should know. Many times in some MCQ exams, direct formula is also being asked for permutation and combination. Fine. So it is always good to know. Now let's solve some examples based on the formula. So the first question we are having is, in how many ways 10 persons can be arranged in 4 chairs? If I want to arrange 10 persons in 4 chairs, how to do that? So see, first of all, try to relate that is there any word like select, combine, arrange, row, column, anything like that? Yes, we want to arrange them. So arranged word is there, and we have seen that if the words like arrange, row, column, etc. is there, we will use permutation. So clearly in this case also we want to arrange the 10 persons in 4 chairs. So we will use permutation. Okay. And permutation formula is what? NPR is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial. In our case, n is my 10 because 10 persons are there and they have to be arranged in 4 chairs. So 4 is my r. So we actually want to find out 10p4. It is equal to what? N factorial, that is 10 factorial upon 10 minus 4 factorial. So that is equal to 10 factorial upon 10 minus 4, that is 6 factorial. Now how to solve them? And 10 factorial can be written as 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 factorial. And in the denominator we are already having 6 factorial. Why I stopped here in 6 factorial? Because so that I can cancel it out. Simple. So now I will cancel them and I have got 10 into 9 into 8 into 7. So that is my answer. 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 will give me 5040. So in total 5040 different ways we can arrange 10 persons in 4 chairs. Okay, it is that simple. Now see, these questions are very important. These kind of questions are very regularly asked in many examples, in many exams, and they are actually very simple. See, in how many ways the letters of the word mobile can be arranged? You can do it logically also, but let me tell you the direct thing. Whenever this kind of question is there, you have to do factorial. How? So see, it is very simple. In how many ways the letters of the word mobile can be arranged? In that case, simply count the unique characters, the unique alphabets. Here M, O, B, I, L, E. All 6 characters are there and all the 6 are unique characters. So simply the answer will be 6 factorial. I am showing you the shortcut, okay? No need to apply any formula, any logic, any observation, nothing. This kind of question are being repeatedly asked, and if you know this, you can save you a lot of time. Simply you have to count number of unique characters in your word. So in how many ways the letters of the word mobile can be arranged? 6 unique characters, 6 factorial is your answer. If the option is given in factorial, you can choose 6 factorial. Otherwise the answer will be 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, and whatever the answer is, you can do the calculation. In how many ways the letters of the word hen can be arranged? Again, 1, 2, 3. 3 different characters, 3 unique characters. Answer is 3 factorial. In how many ways the letters of the word egg can be arranged? Here, the total number of characters are 1, 2, 3. But G is repeated. So, the unique characters are See, first of all, you have to consider the total number of characters. The total number of characters here are EGG, that is 3, okay? So, 3 factorial will be there. But here, what happens that G is repeated. G is repeated how many times? Twice. Okay, you have to count number of repetitions. So here G is repeated twice. In these two cases, nothing was repeated, all were unique. So simply we have written 6 factorial, 3 factorial. But here in this case, G is repeated how many times? Twice. So divided by 2 factorial. So your answer is 3 into 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial. 3 is your answer. Similarly, see one more question. With the help of these 4 different types of examples, I hope this topic will be completely clear to you, this type of question. Now see, this is the question that how many ways the letters of the word this kahani can be arranged. Now how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 factorial. Okay. Because in numerator we are writing the total characters. So 9 factorial. Now how many repetitions are there? K. Is K repeated? No. No worries. A is repeated. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. So A is repeated 4 times. So 4 repetitions. Is anything else repeated? Yes. I is also repeated twice. 1 and 2. So 2 repetitions. So that is equal to 9 factorial upon 2 factorial into 4 factorial. So you can write 9 factorial as 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 2 factorial means 2 into 1. 4 factorial cancelled. 2, let's see, 3s are 6, 1 no matter. So 9 into 8 into 7 into 3 into 5, whatever is the multiplication answer, that will be your answer. Okay. So how to solve these kind of questions? In the numerator, total number of characters divided by in the denominator the number of repetitions. Now with the help of these 4 different types of examples, I hope this type of question is completely clear to you. See one more last question. Here also we will try to solve this also with the help of formula. Okay. So in how many ways the betting order of a cricket team of 11 players can be decided such that Gautam Gambhir Gambhir always opens the bat. So 11 players are there. We have to determine how many ways the betting order of the cricket team of 11 players can be decided. So see, if only this much would have been the answer, if only this much would have been the question, that in how many ways the betting order of the cricket team of 11 players can be decided. So in this case, we are having 11 players. We want to set the betting order of the cricket team with the help of these 11 players. So 11 players can come in 11 places. So how many possibilities are there? 11 factorial. Fine. तो अगर इतना ही क्वेश्चन होता, if the question would have been only this much, the answer would have been 11 factorial. Okay. But now for the full question, the question is such that Gambhir always opens the bat. That means what? The first position is always reserved for Gambhir. So 10 different positions are now left. Got it? out of 11 positions for the batsman, the first position is reserved for Gambhir. So the remaining positions are 10 and the remaining players are also 10 because Gambhir is already fixed. So in the 10 positions, 10 players can play in 10 factorial ways. So for the full question, 10 factorial will be the answer, and if only this much would have been the question, then 11 factorial would have been the answer. Okay, so I don't want to make this video more big because obviously like there is no end to the aptitude questions, right? The more questions we take, the more questions we'll practice, the things will become more clearer to us. But I have tried to cover almost many different types of examples here. I think we have already done more than 10 examples in this video. I have given you many direct formulas. I have given you many direct way to solve the question. We have solved some of the questions with the help of logic. So I hope the whole video was overall helpful to you. In permutation and combination, as I told, mostly we are able to solve the question with logic without any formula, but if needed we have seen the formulas also, right? How to rearrange the word, how to set the betting order. We have seen these types of questions. So I hope overall this video was helpful to you to clear your concept based on permutation and combination. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and please share this video with all your friends, juniors and seniors, so that this video can be helpful to all. Thank you so much.